doing something for a startup ecosystem has been on the top of our mind for several years. And in the entrepreneurial stint, I realized that the joy of creating employment opportunity for someone is simply superb. And being a son of a Fauji, I feel as if I'm contributing to the nation building. So we wanted to promote the startup ecosystem, and that's where we decided to launch this bonus segment, which will be a 5x way to celebrate the entrepreneurship that fuels the economy. And we are very happy that we have made a beginning today. When we wanted to devise this program, we were thinking of what kind of startups should we promote. And that's where, when I was discussing with Anuradha, she mentioned, why not promote startups like us to start with, who are bootstrapped? Because these startups put all the hard-earned money into the business. And many times when these bootstrap startup start, they have not figured out what is their revenue line or what is their business model, and they evolve over a period of time. And if you don't support them, then they will die. And we all have seen so many statistical reports about majority of startups don't survive. So I feel that supporting a bootstrap startup is something which is very, very critical if you want to have an innovation in the country. In fact, when we use the word bootstrap, I was advised not to use the word bootstrap. And when I asked why, it was said it's the word is not good. Acha nahi lagta. So I think if this perception, if it is correct, then needs to be changed. And and the reason I say this, let me draw an analogy here. While we were working in an organization, when we used to take a home loan, we never used to inform our employer that we have taken a home loan, because that was putting us in the position of weakness. Because tomorrow you may get posted into some remote location, and because you are carrying an EMI pressure, it can become a little difficult for you. So applying the same logic in the doing a business, when you are taking money from others, when I say others, it means the PE and VC money, why should it be considered a superior or a sign of strength? I just can't figure out that as a reason for that. But maybe as we grow, we will understand the benefits there. But we firmly believe that a bootstrap is a feather in the cap, and and because doing something with your own money is really, really tough. I'm sure Tatas, Birlas, when they must have started some point of time, they must be bootstrapping. And today they have become so big. And we need to, promote these small companies which are employing 5 people. Maybe they are employing 10 people, 15 people, because they are all going to become big at some future date. So I feel entrepreneurs needs to be proud of doing the business with their own money. And garv se kaho hum bootstrap hai. What's wrong in that? So it's not that we are against private equity or VC invested company. It's just that doing business with the own money, the entrepreneurs need a lot of help. So after all the entrepreneurs, whether it is bootstrap, whether it is early stage, whether it is private equity or venture capital funded, they all needs to be celebrated and they need to be encouraged. And that's what our firm belief is. And we will plan to include in this program them as well as we move ahead and as this entire program matures over a period of time. Finally, I would say the struggle of entrepreneurship, only an entrepreneur can understand. And I hope the platform that this platform helps in showcasing the struggle of these entrepreneurs and garner support for them. With this small introduction about this initiative in the bonus segment, I welcome Mr. Tarun Mohan, who is a 5X Maven 2019 and 2020 to give his initial remarks to this launch edition of celebrating the bootstrap. Over to you, Tarun.
Thank you, Fayax. Thank you, Vikas and Anuradha, for this opportunity over here to present my journey. Okay, basically beginning when I was about 18 years old, how I was mentored and groomed to be an entrepreneur by my father, who said, "I have worked all my life. You will never work for anybody. You'll work for yourself and build up what you can think is the best for yourself and the nation." I could have gone global anywhere. I could have, left IIT after IIT, gone anywhere in America, worked over there. But he said, no, you're going to stay back in the country and work in the country and do good for the country. So that was my background of, IIT Delhi 85 batch. But my actual mentoring began when I was about 10 years old. He said, be very clear on 5 C's. Okay, those who have wives and buy diamonds, the 4 C's in the diamond. Okay, cut, clarity, carrot, and the sand, color. In entrepreneurship, it's the 5 C's. The base of entrepreneur resides on clarity, what you want to do. Okay, a commitment to what you want to do, and a conviction that yes, you will do it. The last two I'll put more also is a collaboration. You can never achieve what you want as an individual soul. The world is too big. Whatever you do requires help and support from friends, family, associates, business partners, and more. And the last bit is cash. If you can handle your cash properly, that is your strength as an entrepreneur. And that is where the difference comes in as a bootstrap entrepreneur and a VC funded entrepreneur. As a bootstrap entrepreneur, you value money. Every penny you spend, you value. Is it on salaries? Is it on office rent? Is it travel, infrastructure, what you do? Unless you have these 5 C's in your head, don't become an entrepreneur. You need to be clear on what you want to do and then build a team. Going ahead, it also then means what you want to do. As a bootstrap entrepreneur, you got to build on technology. As Mr. Hota also said, your product has to be simple and easy for the customer to understand.
Tarun, what are the challenges that you faced while you were in this entire startup journey, and how did you overcome them?
Okay, so being an engineer and being being a family of technologists, my father was one of the best engineers in the country in good old days. He said, build on technology. So let me put my two products together. First was a secure banking for mobile phones. The second was on transit payments, contactless transit payments. Let's come to the first thing. Africa is the hub of mobile payments. Okay? It's at least 4-5 years ahead of India on mobile money. M-Pesa began when we didn't even know what mobile money was. So working in Africa, traveling over there, I said, what's missing here is security on a mobile transaction, the ease of use. USSD is fine, it's easy to deploy, but it's not simple to use. It's cumbersome, expensive, and it is complicated. It doesn't give you all what you want to put together. So I said, let's put something together which gives you multiple services, security, encryption, service coverage, and then ease of use, ease of onboarding, ease of use. So we took that base technology, updated it for a remote over-the-air management, put UPI into it, put BPPS into it, put IMPS into it, and say now we have, on a very basic feature phone, a solution comparable to a regular mobile banking interface on a smartphone. So that's what the first thing was. The second thing was transit payments. We're all going NCMC in the last 10 years hearing about NCMC, but still not gone anywhere. Primarily 2 reasons. I can tell, okay, I'm talking about it because I've been deeply involved with NPCI in putting the devices together, building the framework for the service area creation on NCMC cards. But there are a lot of hiccups to it. Is how do I recharge my card? It's so complicated. How do I add my service? Nobody knows what a service ad is. How do I go pick up a card and go tap and use it on a transit operator? Can I do tap and pay? No. We are still talking about metros, but metro is only 5 million users till today. Bus ticketing is 85 million people a day. Are we looking at bus ticketing? The volume is there. You solve bus ticketing, you will solve digital payments across the whole country, because if you see the pyramid of users, I'll put a triangle together like this. At the top is your once a year payment, once a month payment. 10 times a week payment. Transit is 4 times a day. If you can solve your transit payment as a smooth experience, seamless, error-free, full customer care taken on, you have it done. You have built what you want for a digital India. But we still haven't done it there. So we put together the whole thing for transit systems and said, now you go take it.
When you started it, what kind of support would have really helped you as a bootstrap?
Somebody to accept the technology, what we have. We're saying, we're solving this problem for you. We're solving this problem for you. First is acknowledge the problem. Like, Mr. Hota said, the banks are like, saying, customer care is not my problem. Cyber hack, keep it within my boundary walls. The banks should acknowledge that, my OTP is such a loophole. Our regulator is putting up digital currencies. I'm
asking more from as an entrepreneur. When you are bootstrap, and your own funds, which is what kind of support you think should come in? Are you expecting some kind of exhibitions where we get a free booth space, or what exactly is your thinking in terms of support that should be given to the students which are coming out from the college and taking up the entrepreneurial role, or people who are leaving their job and taking up the entrepreneurial role? What kind of support system, because already there is so much of, I remember when I, in my early stage, when I started my career, if I would have told my father-in-law that I am doing a business, maybe I would have never got married to Anuradha. So that was an imagery, and now today it has completely changed. If you're doing a startup, I think the image, the perception is it's respected. So what do you feel is other things that startup support should come in, either from the banks, or one you said is the bank should be open to listen. That's fine, but other than that, what support should come into a startup as per you?
Mentoring. Today's startups, most of them think rich, become rich overnight. They don't realize the journey to getting where they want to get is a long and a tedious journey. So the mentoring, my basic education, those 5 C's I spoke about. Those 5 C's are very important to drive and drill into a startup. And don't think a shortcut. It is a long road to success, and then handling cash is the most important thing. People here say, I made a business plan, I made a product deck, I'm going to go to a VC or an angel fund, get 2 crores, get 1 crore, and start putting it together. But then handling cash is the most important thing. And then having a USP. You can't say that I'm going to start, something which everybody else has done and say, I'm going to make it $1 billion business. What is your USP? What is your barrier to entry for competition to come? Because competition can come by money, can come by technology.
So what you're saying, so Tarun, what you're saying is mentoring over the funding is the very, very important part.
Very important.
Very, very important. And I'm sure all the fintech professionals, all the bankers in our community, when they, if they are on the online and when they see this, they will realize the amount of contribution they can do to the ecosystem without, no one is expecting them to give the deals. No one is expecting them to invest. No one is expecting, the only expectation is do some little mentoring of your time. And I'm sure many entrepreneurs will come up in the BFSI segment, which will solve the problem statement. So very well said, Tarun. And I'm sure this will set a trend for the future discussions. With this, we will conclude today's session. I thank you, Tarun. I thank you again,
thank you,
Mr. AP Hota ji. I thank SBM Bank India, and we look forward to seeing you in the next edition, where we will have another thought leader and a startup presenting them. Thank you, everyone.